You are still here because your spirit is not done yet. Archangel Michael says many people stop listening right before the truth reaches them, but you stayed because your soul recognizes alignment. There has been a deep inner shift happening within you lately, a quiet but powerful transformation. You may not have words for it, but you feel it in your reactions, your thoughts, your tolerance levels. Things that once excited you now feel empty, and things you once ignored now feel important. This is not confusion, this is awakening. Your spirit is rising above survival mode and stepping into awareness. Archangel Michael says you were never meant to live small, cautious and afraid. Fear was something you learned, not something you were born with. Over time, disappointments taught you to protect yourself. Walls became habits and silence became your defense. But now those walls are being gently dismantled. Not to expose you to harm, but to allow truth, love and purpose to enter. You cannot step into the next chapter carrying the weight of old disappointments. You must understand that what hurt you did not come to destroy you, it came to reveal your strength. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment, every delay deepened your patience, every loss refined your faith. You are no longer the same person who began this journey, and that is a good thing. Archangel Michael says stop doubting your progress just because the results are not visible yet. Growth is not always loud, sometimes it is silent. Internal and sacred, you are healing in ways you once begged for. Notice how you no longer chase validation, how you no longer react the same way, how you choose peace over proving a point. This is maturity, this is power. The old version of you would have fought battles that drained you. The new version walks away knowing silence can be louder than arguments. There is a reason certain conversations ended without closure and certain connections faded. You have entered a phase where the weight you feel is not pressure from failure but responsibility from growth. Archangel Michael says this is the stage where many turn back because moving forward requires surrender. You are being asked to release control, not because you are weak, but because what is coming is bigger than what you can manage alone. You have carried yourself for too long relying only on strength learned through pain. Now you must learn trust learned through faith. Independence kept you alive, but faith will take you higher. There is a difference between surviving and aligning, and alignment requires humility. You are learning that not everything needs to be figured out before it unfolds. Some paths reveal themselves only after the first step is taken. Archangel Michael says your need to understand everything is rooted in past disappointment. You learn to overthink because uncertainty once hurt you. But clarity does not come from control, it comes from surrender. Stop exhausting your mind trying to predict outcomes. Peace comes when you accept that God sees what you cannot. This season will test your ability to rest while waiting, to remain faithful while silent, to stay obedient without instant reward. This is maturity. This is trust refined. There are blessings prepared for you that cannot arrive until you stop holding on to old versions of yourself. Pride disguised as self-protection must be released. Fear disguised as logic must be exposed. Excuses disguised as patience must be confronted. Archangel Michael says truth will feel uncomfortable before it feels freeing. You are being invited to step into a higher level of accountability. Your choices now have greater impact because your influence is increasing. Whether you recognize it or not, others are watching how you handle pressure, delay and disappointment. Your life is becoming a testimony in progress. This is why integrity matters more than ever. What you do when no one sees is shaping what you why. Something requires you to compromise your values. It is not a blessing, it is a distraction. Archangel Michael says discernment is your greatest protection now. Not every opportunity is divine and not every closed door is rejection. Some doors close because what is behind them no longer matches who you are becoming. Trust divine refusals as much as divine approvals. You have been spared from situations that looked good but would have drained your spirit. One day you will see clearly and thank God for what did not work out. Your patience is not being ignored, it is being rewarded in layers. Sudden success would have overwhelmed you, but gradual preparation is strengthening you. You are learning to handle peace without chaos, stability without boredom, silence without fear. This inner balance is rare and powerful. Archangel Michael says the next season will bring restoration not just externally but internally. Your confidence will return without arrogance. Your joy will return without dependency. Your hope will return without desperation. You will no longer chase, you will attract. You will no longer beg, you will choose. You will no longer doubt your worth, you will recognize it. Relationships will shift because you have shifted. Some will rise with you, some will fall away naturally. Allow it. Alignment never needs force. You do not need to announce your growth. Let your peace speak for you. Let your consistency speak for you. Let your results speak when the time is right. Stay grounded, stay grateful, stay obedient. Abundance flows best through humility. Remember where you came from, remember who carried you through the darkest nights. Gratitude keeps your heart soft even when your life becomes strong. Archangel Michael says, do not fear the blessing that is approaching. You have been prepared for it through tears, discipline, silence, and faith. You are not the same person who once prayed for this. You are stronger, wiser, and more discerning. What is coming will not break you. Why? You are now standing at a threshold most people never reach because they turn back when the silence becomes uncomfortable. Archangel Michael says this moment is not loud, but it is decisive. What happens next will be shaped by how deeply you trust rather than how quickly you move. You have learned through experience that rushing creates confusion, but alignment creates peace, and peace is now your compass. You no longer chase signs, you recognize confirmations. You no longer panic in uncertainty. You remain steady within it. This is growth made visible through calm. The fear that once controlled your decisions no longer has the same authority because you have seen what God can do even in delay, even in waiting, even in apparent stillness. Your faith is no longer desperate, it is anchored, and anchored faith does not shake easily. Archangel Michael says you are entering a season where discernment will protect you more than effort. You will sense when to move and when to pause, when to speak and when to remain silent. Wisdom will replace impulse. Clarity will replace overthinking. This does not mean challenges will disappear, it means they will no longer define you. Pressure will come, but it will not crush you. Responsibility will increase, but it will not overwhelm you, because you have been trained internally for what is about to unfold externally. This season will require you to trust your preparation even when doubt tries to return. Remember how far you have come, remember the lessons learned in pain, remember the strength built in quiet places. You did not survive by chance, you were preserved with purpose. Archangel Michael says opportunities will now begin to align with your values, not test them. Doors will open that do not require you to compromise who you are. Relationships will form that feel supportive, not draining. Work will begin to feel meaningful, not heavy. This is restoration in motion. Do not rush it, do not announce it, protect it. Fragile beginnings need coverage, not exposure. Stay consistent, stay grounded, stay obedient. Consistency is the language of trust. You will notice that your prayers are changing. They are no longer only about receiving but about stewardship, not only about relief but about responsibility. You are asking better questions now. You are seeking alignment, not escape. This is maturity of spirit. Archangel Michael says guard your inner life carefully. What you allow into your thoughts will shape your decisions. Choose truth over fear, gratitude over complaint, patience over pressure. Small daily choices are creating long-term outcomes. Do not underestimate what faithfulness in small things can produce. The future you prayed for is built one obedient step at a time. There will be moments when progress feels slow and temptation to compare returns. You didn't find this message by coincidence. This message found you at the exact moment your soul needed it most. Out of millions of voices and endless distractions, something inside you paused right here because your spirit was ready, because your heart has been asking questions your lips never spoke. Archangel Michael says, listen carefully. What you are hearing now is meant to realign your life. Lately you have been feeling a strange heaviness, a silent pressure, a sense that something is changing, but you cannot fully explain it. You laugh on the outside, yet inside you feel tired in a way sleep cannot heal. This is not weakness, this is transition. Archangel Michael steps forward now, not to scare you but to protect you. Sword of truth in his hand, light surrounding his presence, and he says you have survived things that were meant to destroy you. Moments when you felt abandoned, moments when prayers felt unanswered, moments when you questioned your own worth, but heaven never stopped watching you. Every delay you faced was not rejection, it was preparation. Every closed door was not punishment, it was protection. Every tear you cried watered a future you cannot yet see. Archangel Michael says, I was with you even when you thought you were alone. Strength was built in silence, wisdom was born from pain, and you are still standing because divine protection surrounded you when danger tried to reach you. Now your soul is awakening, and that is why old habits no longer satisfy you. Certain people no longer resonate, and comfort zones feel uncomfortable. You are not losing anything, you are shedding what cannot go where you are going. Stop blaming yourself for outgrowing places you were never meant to stay. There is a calling on your life that refuses to be ignored, a purpose that keeps knocking even when you pretend not to hear it, a light within you that darkness tried and failed to extinguish. The road has been hard, the nights have been long, but this chapter is changing what felt like You are still here listening because something inside you knows this message is alive. It is breathing. It is speaking directly to your spirit. Archangel Michael says, many people hear words but few truly listen. You are one of the few whose soul is awake enough to recognize truth when it arrives. You have walked through seasons where nothing made sense, where effort gave no reward and faith felt heavy, yet you kept moving even when your heart was tired. That persistence was not accidental, it was divinely planted inside you. You were never meant to quit because your story does not end in survival, it continues into purpose. Archangel Michael says there were battles you fought silently that no one applauded, nights you cried quietly so no one would worry, moments you smiled just to keep peace while your soul felt stormy. Heaven recorded every single one of those moments. None of your pain was wasted. None of your endurance ignored. You may not have seen immediate change, but unseen realms were shifting in your favor. Protection was activated while you were unaware. Delays were forming discipline. Silence was forming strength. Pressure was forming clarity. This is why you now feel different. This is why you cannot tolerate fake connections, shallow conversations, or empty promises anymore. Your spirit is rejecting what no longer aligns with truth. Archangel Michael says separation was necessary because certain people were draining what God was trying to build in you. You mistook loyalty for love and attachment for purpose, but now your eyes are opening. You are learning that peace is more valuable than approval and alignment is more important than popularity. You were never meant to fit in, you were meant to stand firm. There is a difference between being alone and being protected. Sometimes heaven removes noise so you can finally hear direction. You are not behind in life, you are being positioned. Timing is not late when destiny is involved. You compare yourself to others. Boundaries or your light will be consumed by those who only know how to take. This next season requires discernment. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every invitation deserves your energy. Not every voice deserves your attention. You are stepping into a phase where silence will become your power and observation your shield. You will begin to notice how truth reveals itself without effort, how lies collapse on their own, how patience exposes intentions. Stop forcing outcomes that are not Flowing naturally, what belongs to you will arrive with peace, not anxiety. Archangel Michael says there is a blessing approaching that will test your maturity more than your faith, because what you asked for also requires responsibility. Growth is not only about receiving, it is about maintaining. You prayed for elevation, but elevation demands discipline, consistency, and humility. Your character is being refined because where you are going shortcuts do not exist. Integrity will matter more than talent, obedience more than desire. You are being prepared to handle abundance without losing yourself, influence without ego, success without forgetting where you came from. Do not underestimate the quiet work happening inside you right now. Even when nothing changes externally, transformation is occurring internally. Roots grow in darkness before fruit appears in light. Archangel Michael says trust the unseen process. Your breakthrough will not arrive loudly, it will arrive clearly, one moment. Things will click, clarity will replace confusion, and you will realize why things had to unfold the way they did. You will look back and thank God for unanswered prayers because they protected you from versions of life that would have broken you. Forgiveness will become easier, not because they deserved it, but because you deserve freedom. Anger kept you tied to the past, and peace is calling you forward. Release resentment, release regret, release the need to explain yourself to people who never tried to understand you. Your validation does not come from them, it comes from above. Archangel Michael says your name has been mentioned in rooms you never entered. Favor has been working behind the scenes. Help has been assigned without you asking. Do not lose faith now when you are closer than ever. Darkness always makes noise before it leaves. Confusion increases right before clarity arrives. Pressure intensifies right before release. Stay grounded, stay prayerful, stay humble. The next chapter of your life will require courage, not fear. Obedience, not hesitation. Action, not delay. You already know what you need to do. You have just been afraid of letting go of what feels familiar. But familiar does not always mean safe. Sometimes comfort is the enemy of calling. Step forward even if your voice shakes. Even if your hands tremble. Faith is not the absence of fear, it is movement despite fear. Archangel Michael says I am walking with you, cutting through obstacles you cannot see, protecting you from traps you never noticed, redirecting you when the path ahead would have caused harm. You are covered, you are guided, you are not late. Remain still when impatience rises, remain kind when bitterness tempts you, remain faithful when results are slow. What is coming will make sense of everything you endured. One day you will tell your story and someone else will survive because you did not quit. This is not the end, this is a line. You are still here because your spirit is not done yet. Archangel Michael says many people stop listening right before the truth reaches them, but you stayed because your soul recognizes alignment. There has been a deep inner shift happening within you lately, a quiet but powerful transformation. You may not have words for it, but you feel it in your reactions, your thoughts, your tolerance levels. Things that once excited you now feel empty, and things you once ignored now feel important. This is not confusion, this is awakening. Your spirit is rising above survival mode and stepping into awareness. Archangel Michael says you were never meant to live small, cautious, and afraid. Fear was something you learned, not something you were born with. Over time, disappointments taught you to protect yourself. Walls became habits and silence became your defense. But now those walls are being gently dismantled. Not to expose you to harm, but to allow truth, love, and purpose to enter. You cannot step into the next chapter carrying the weight of old disappointments. You must understand that what hurt you did not come to destroy you, it came to reveal your strength. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment, every delay deepened your patience, every loss refined your faith. You are no longer the same person who began this journey, and that is a good thing. Archangel Michael says stop doubting your progress just because the results are not visible yet. Growth is not always loud, sometimes it is silent. Internal and sacred, you are healing in ways you once begged for. Notice how you no longer chase validation, how you no longer react the same way, how you choose peace over proving a point. This is maturity, this is power. The old version of you would have fought battles that drained you. The new version walks away knowing silence can be louder than arguments. There is a reason certain conversations ended without closure and certain connections faded without explanation. Not everything needs an answer, some things need release. Closure is not always a conversation, sometimes it is a decision. Archangel Michael says you have been holding on to guilt for things that were never your responsibility. You blamed yourself for other people's behavior, for their inability to love you correctly, for their lack of consistency. But hear this clearly: you were not too much, they were simply not capable. You did not ask for too much, you asked the wrong people. Your heart was genuine, your intentions were pure, and that is why shallow connections could not stay. Do not shrink yourself to fit places that no longer align with who you are becoming. You are entering a season where authenticity matters more than acceptance, truth more than comfort, purpose more than popularity. Some people will misunderstand you in this season, not because you changed but because you stopped pretending. Let them misunderstand you. Alignment will always cost you something, but misalignment costs you everything. Archangel Michael says protect your energy fiercely now. Rest is no longer optional, it is necessary. Reflection is no longer avoidance, it is wisdom. Saying no is no longer selfish, it is stewardship of your soul. You cannot pour from an empty spirit, and you cannot heal in the same environment that wounded you. Choose environments that nourish, not drain. Voices that uplift, not confuse. Paths that bring peace, not anxiety. There is a divine recalibration happening in your life right now. Things may feel slow, unclear, or paused, but this pause is intentional. Heaven is rearranging details behind the scenes, aligning people, timing, and opportunities with precision you cannot yet see. Impatience will tempt you to rush, but rushing will only delay what is meant to arrive complete. Archangel Michael says trust the process even when it tests your faith. Trust that what is unfolding is better than what you planned. You are being protected from shortcuts that would have cost you later. The blessing coming toward you is not small, and that is why preparation has been intense. Small blessings require little responsibility. Great blessings require character, discipline, and wisdom. You are being shaped to carry what you once prayed for. Do not be afraid of the weight. You are becoming strong enough to handle it. Remember, you are not walking this path alone. Even when it feels quiet, guidance surrounds you. Protection follows you, favor precedes you. When doubt creeps in, return to stillness. When fear rises, return to faith. When confusion speaks, return to truth. Your intuition has become sharper because your spirit is clearer. Learn to trust it. Not every opportunity is meant to be taken. Not every open door is yours to walk through. Discernment will save you time, energy, and heartbreak. Archangel Michael says your future will require courage, but it will reward you with peace. You will soon look back at this season and realize it was the moment everything changed internally before it changed externally. Stay consistent, stay grounded, stay humble. What you are becoming matters more than what you are achieving. Success without peace is failure in disguise, and peace is becoming your foundation. If you feel emotional while hearing this, it is because truth resonates deeply. Allow it, do not resist it. Healing is not linear, and strength does not mean numbness. You are allowed to feel and still move forward. You are allowed to rest and still progress. You are allowed to let go and still believe. Archangel Michael says your story is far from over. What lies ahead will require faith, but it will also restore joy. You will smile genuinely again, you will trust again wisely, and you will love again deeply but with boundaries. Remain open without becoming unguarded. Remain kind without becoming available to everyone. This balance is wisdom. This is alignment. This is divine preparation. You did not find you have reached this part because something within you refuses to turn away. Archangel Michael says not everyone is meant to walk this far, but you did because endurance lives inside you. This stage of your journey is not about learning new things, it is about unlearning what kept you small. Beliefs that were formed in pain, fears that grew from disappointment, and habits that once protected you but now restrict you. You cannot carry old survival patterns into a new season of purpose. What once kept you safe will now keep you stuck if you do not release it. Understand this clearly. Your hesitation is not confusion, it is fear of stepping into responsibility. You already know what you must let go of. The question is whether you trust what will replace it. Archangel Michael says faith is not believing something will happen, faith is acting as if God is already at work. You have waited for signs while ignoring confirmations. You have asked for clarity while avoiding decisions, but clarity often comes after obedience, not before it. This season demands movement, not perfection, commitment, not comfort. You will never feel fully ready, and that is why trust is required. Stop delaying your life waiting for the perfect moment. It does not exist. The moment becomes perfect when you move with intention. There are cycles repeating in your life because the lesson was never completed. Patterns continue until awareness turns into action. You prayed for change but kept choosing familiarity. You asked for peace but stayed in environments that disturbed your spirit. Now the choice is in front of you: stay the same or step forward. Growth will cost you comfort, but stagnation will cost you purpose. Archangel Michael says you are not being punished, you are being positioned. Discipline is not restriction, it is direction. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. Learn when to close them and when to open them. This is a season of responsibility. Excuses will no longer work, avoidance will no longer protect you. What you ignore now will demand your attention later with greater intensity. Do not confuse patience with procrastination. Patience waits with faith. Procrastination delays with fear. Heaven supports effort, not avoidance. Your role in this process matters. Divine help does not replace personal action, it strengthens it. There are doors prepared for you, but you must be willing to walk toward them. There are conversations you have been avoiding that will free you once they are faced. There are decisions you have postponed that will unlock peace once they are made. Courage will feel uncomfortable at first, but comfort has kept you restless for too long. Archangel Michael says stop negotiating with your calling. Stop lowering your standards to avoid loneliness. Stop tolerating what you pray to be removed. Alignment requires honesty with yourself. You cannot heal what you keep justifying. You cannot grow where you keep settling.